Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Quote Spotlight. Today we are going to be looking at a very important quote from the play Macbeth. The quote that we will be analysing today is said by the character of Banquo in Act 1, Scene 3. In this scene, Macbeth and Banquo have received their prophecies from the three witches. Macbeth immediately is captivated, intrigued, and wants to know more. A key quote that you have for this scene from Macbeth is "Stay you imperfect speakers, tell me more." On the other hand, Banquo has a more suspicious reaction to the witches. He feels that they tell half-truths, that they equivocate and speak in riddles. Banquo warns Macbeth. "The instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence." From this, we get the impression that Banquo is the antithesis of Macbeth. Macbeth leans into the supernatural, chooses to believe them, whereas Banquo entirely rejects them. Banquo recognises the dangers of supernatural forces and attempts to tell Macbeth, "Don't blindly trust the witches. Beware of the consequences of dealing with the supernatural." When analysing this quote for orange analysis, you want to break this quote into different parts, purely because it is such a long quote for you to analyse. Firstly, we are going to analyse the use of the metaphor, instruments of darkness. Here, Banquo uses a powerful metaphor to present them as agents of evil, tools of the devil used to carry out malicious, which means evil, deeds. Banquo clearly highlights the unnatural and unholy nature of the witches. Their intentions are likely to be corrupt and destructive. As the audience, we already know from the start of the play that the witches do indeed have malicious intentions. Returning back to the main quote, we now want to analyse the key phrase, honest trifles. Here it is clear that Banquo recognises that the witches do tell small truths, but he warns Macbeth and the audience that these half-truths are merely bait. They are merely temptations, and they are used to manipulate and to deceive, leading to these deepest consequences. The final key word that you would want to take out of this quote and analyse for orange is the use of the superlative deepest. A superlative is simply a word that shows the most extreme version. It's not deep, it's not deeper, it is the deepest. Therefore, we can use a terminology superlative. In this sense, the use of the superlative deepest emphasises the severity of the potential outcome. It suggests divine punishment, which means godly punishment, or complete moral ruin. As always, it's essential that we understand how our key quotes link to King James, link to the purple section with the writer's intentions. Previously, we talked about how King James would be pleased because this quote presents the supernatural as evil and malicious and real, which is exactly what King James wanted. However, there is an additional layer to our purple discussions when talking about Banquo. It was believed that Banquo was an ancestor of King James in real life. And therefore we could argue that the character of Banquo, and therefore any quote that Banquo uses, is a piece of political propaganda. It was written to flatter King James. If Shakespeare presents Banquo as morally grounded and noble and divine, it suggests that through the ancestry, King James is also moral and divine. Although Banquo dies towards the beginning of the play, he is an absolutely essential character. He is imperative to the storyline, and therefore it is vitally important that we ensure we have key quotes and key analysis for the character of Banquo. So, following this video, why not write a full analysis paragraph on the information that you have learnt today? Thank you for watching.